You might remember just over, I think about a year ago, we talked to a young man from Scunthorpe who was fed up of not being able to buy cool clothes in big sizes, that he set up his own company. Now, his name's Ben Pearson. The company is Big Clothing for You, and he was just setting up and getting it going, and it sounds as though he's making a success of it. He's going to tell us about it. Nice to see you, Ben. How are you?
Oh, nice to see you too. Yes, very well, thank you.
Okay, it was about a year ago, wasn't it?
It was just over.
Yeah,
maybe 14 months ago.
Right, okay. So tell us, what have you done? How's the company going?
It's going very well, completely exceeded our expectations. We started in a small warehouse, and basically we outgrew the warehouse. We were up to the ceiling in stock. We were actually really struggled to pick and fulfill the orders at the end of the day. So we got 2 or 3 employees, and we found that people locally were there was such a shortage of the large size clothing, so 3XL upwards, and they were queuing at the door wanting to come in and try stuff on, but we didn't have the insurance, we didn't have the space, and we just couldn't facilitate that. So what we did after a few months is we decided to look for bigger premises. So we've now looked for somewhere, it's about 6 times bigger than the old place. We've put a substantial investment into the business, and we've grown phenomenally. So that's where we are today. We're over at Queensway now, near Morrison's in Scunthorpe.
Okay, and I hear tell you're about to hit £1 million turnover?
Yes, this year, last 6 months has just absolutely boomed, because since we opened to the public as well, people can come and do click and collect, people can drop things off. We've just got a lot more revenue streams now, and we've also just launched the Scunthorpe Suits for a local shop where people can come in for all sizes.
Okay, and how many people are you employing now?
We've got about 5 permanent workers, and then we have people that come in on busy periods and help.
Okay, just tell us a little bit of your background and why you started this business.
Well, I was refurbishing properties, and I was a big chap, and I was struggling to get overalls and work clothes, basically any clothes, even to go out at night. I was struggling with the fit, and I'd have to travel to, say, Leeds to try and, that was the nearest store was Leeds, and I'd have to travel there, and I just couldn't get the right fit, and they were missing certain sizes in the size scales, and I thought there can be better ways of doing this, so that's why I started. So where we are today is I started it, made sure that there was a market, made sure that essentially could make money out of it and keep customers, meet the demand of the customers. And with that, I've started to sell a lot of my property portfolio to put into this business.
Okay, and did you get any grants or financial help, or have you just done it off your own back?
No, I've done it off my own back, really.
Okay, and you're catering for the larger man, but as you say, your new shop is for all sizes, yeah?
It is. We just, in the sort of casual wear, the only sort of clothing that we now sell for all sizes at the moment is suits. We found that people coming in and saying that they couldn't find suits locally, or maybe in like a classic fit. Everyone was selling slim fits. Not everybody nowadays is a slim fit.
Yeah,
so
tell me about it. Tell me about it, Ben.
Yes, and I think a lot of people will know that. So getting the classic fits and getting lots of different cuts and styles. We're working closely with a company called Scopes, and we're getting special orders. We're making things specially for us, and the customers are delighted with it. Okay,
and are you online as well?
We're not with the Scunthorpe Suits because it's a local store. We're bringing up a website, but it won't be e-commerce. It will just be so people can locate us.
What's your background? Where did you go to school?
I went to school. Well, actually, I was in care. I was in care homes throughout the UK, and the local social services moved me around the UK in sort of boarding schools and that kind of thing.
Right. Okay. I didn't mean to pry. I was genuinely. And if you're uncomfortable talking about it, feel free. So you've come from quite a tough background, though.
I have, and no, it's not an uncomfortable subject at all. It's actually helps drive me forward, and something I would like to do once this business is thriving and doing well enough. I'd like to take a step back slightly from it and try and help other young people in the community that maybe have not such a privileged background, and I can help with my experience to help them grow.
Sounds to me like you should be the poster boy for this, to show children in care that you might think, look, nobody loves me, nobody cares about me, and I'm going to struggle to make something of my life, yeah?
Yeah, I think trying to turn that negative energy and try and drive it into something positive, for me, it's really grown me as a person. Every day I've got more challenges. And things that do make me feel uncomfortable, but they make me stronger and they help me grow, and that's why business is so good for the younger person. And don't get me wrong, it does come with stress. Every week there's something that makes my blood boil, and that's what has happened in business. But each week I get stronger, and the things become less of a burden.
And did you go to college and do any sort of formal business training or anything like that?
I didn't. No, like I say, I was. Didn't have the best time in my younger years. I was in specialist schools where they didn't give me much of an education. They were more trying to control my emotional issues and my anger problems, essentially, and try and give me effectively counselling to try and help me rather than educate.
Right, okay. So you're basically sort of self-taught and you're going on this journey sort of on your own, driven by your own ambitions and your own ideas.
Yeah, I think that's where a lot of entrepreneurs and big business owners don't always come from a great background. I won't mention any names, but if anybody can relate to this, they'll know what I'm talking about.
Okay. Are you bound for Dragon's Den? Any applications for Dragon's Den?
No, because I don't think my idea is unique. I think in some ways, on paper, somebody could say I've just copied somebody else, and yeah, I suppose I have, but I've just added my own touch. So no, I don't think it's a new invention that would qualify for Dragon's Den.
Yeah, I just wondered, just as an entrepreneur, to grow your business and everything like that. But I do take the point about the invention. So remind people what the business is called.
The business is Big Clothing for You, but we've opened Scunthorpe suits that cater to all size men.
Okay, and Big Clothing for You is you are talking big sizes. Where do you start and where do you go to?
Big Clothing for You, we start about a 42, mainly a 44 waist, and we go all the way up to 72, and in some sizes we can cater up to an 80-inch waist.
Right. Okay, but you're doing sort of fashionable. You because if I remember our conversation before, you wanted sort of nice, sort of cool clothes that your mates were wearing, but they weren't doing it because you're a big lad yourself. They weren't doing them in your size. Am I right?
Yes, you're absolutely right, Burnsy. And since because when I last came here, I just started up, and obviously I've learnt a lot from what the customers like. And I would say up to maybe a 62, 64-inch waist, people like the fashionable. So we have all the fashion lines, and we have 2 seasons a year: spring, summer, and then autumn, winter. And we bring out different fashion lines for that. But when you go above sort of a 64-inch waist, generally we just stick with our core lines that we never have out of stock, and they're sort of more plain t-shirts, plain bottoms, because we found that when they get up to that size, they're just really interested in the fit rather than the style.
Ben, it's a real pleasure to see you again, and I'm really pleased that it's gone well. So thank you very much for coming in. Keep us up to date. We'll see you in a year when you've doubled the turnover to £2 million a year.
Fantastic. You watch this space.
All right. What a story. Ben Pearson, the company is Big Clothing for You. He's a young entrepreneur from Scunthorpe. He's just opened another company called Scunthorpe Suits. Where do you actually find the business? Where do people rock up to find the business?
Just off of Brigg Road in Scunthorpe, and there's Harlequin Furniture on the corner. And then we've got signs up everywhere. You'll see the signs and you just come down and round the corner.
Well, it's a great story, Ben. Thank you very much for sharing it. I appreciate you coming in.
Join me, Andy Comfort, today from 3 as we rewind to 2 great years of music. With loads of classic songs from the charts of 38 years ago. Rewind with Andy Comfort this afternoon from 3 on BBC Radio Humberside.
Contact David Burns. Text the programme
81333 and start your message with RH.
Call the programme
Grimsby 340959 or Hull 225 959.
or email burnsy@bbc.co.uk.
If you know of somebody with an interesting story like Ben's, or somebody sort of getting a business going and making a success of it, do let us know this morning. Now, as always, you can drop us an email, burnsy@bbc.co.uk. It's good to, what a great success, what a great story. He's come from a hard background, and he's making something of his life, and he's making a business, and he's employing 5 people. So if you've got a story for us, whatever the story might be, then do feel free to get in touch with the show.